Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Dal, and patch 10.15 has recently made it over on the PTR. While not a major content update, this patch is set to feature a lot of class changes, everything from minor talent improvements to systematic redesigns of specific playstyles, and even an inclusion of an entirely new support spec arriving to evokers at some point in the future. So far, 10.15 plans to overhaul the class of Mage, and improve the gameplay of Holy Paladins' healing playstyle, as well as many more changes to a handful of other classes. In today's video, I wanted to go over some of the most important changes coming to our favorite classes in the most recent PTR build of 10.15. But right before that, most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do, so let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway, especially if you want to get more regular content regarding all of the newest Dragonflight updates and changes going forward. The first playstyle set to receive new revamps is the tanky Guardian Druid. First of all, the talent tree has seen a bit of a shakeup, with many of the gameplay defining talent nodes being moved to a much better placement into the talent tree. This includes support talents like Dream of Scenarios, the arcane focused Galactic Guardian, as well as Soul of the Forest, which helps create a different talent flow. Innate Resolve helps amplify Guardian Druid survivability, where Frenzied Regeneration healing effect will scale with missing health, becoming a more potent recovery tool for Guardians in tough situations. And the talent of Raise will no longer replace Maul in the future update, so that Guardian Druids no longer have to pick between a single target or an AoE Rage Spender gameplay. Next, we have the class of Monk, which is receiving two new powerful class talent options. First, in the same choice node as Diffuse Magic lies a new passive of Yulon's Grace, which allows you to build up magic resistance over time. While in combat, you gain a shield which absorbs magic damage for a portion of your health, stacking up to 10% maximum, which allows monks to passively mitigate additional damage taken. Next, on the same row as Dampen Harm sits a new passive option of Dance of the Wind, which simply increases your dodge chance by 10%, which is quite powerful, especially for Brewmasters, since they naturally have an affinity for evading physical damage during combat. Up next is the class of Priest, which gains a bit more support when it comes to their offensive damage output. The talent of Burning Vehemence moves high into the talent tree and only costs 1 talent point to gain its full effectiveness. A new talent of Epiphany takes its place lower into the talent tree. Epiphany causes Holy Words to sometimes reset the cooldown of Prayer of Mending, which would synergize with the current iteration of the Holy Priest tier set. Next, the class of Mage is set to receive a bit of a rework, where the base class as well as its 3 spec playstyles are set to gain even more updates in 10.15. First of all, the talent of Rune of Power is officially removed over on the PTR. Rune was simply too good of a talent to pass up. The damage increase from Rune was incredible, though its gameplay restrictions were noteworthy. Mages were tethered to the rune whenever it was active, forced to stay in close proximity in order to draw on its power in combat, which limits the immense mobility of this caster playstyle. The removal of Rune will come with a damage boost to the class of Mage to help compensate on the lost power. Next, we see even more talent tree changes down in the capstone options. The primary goal of this update is to fix the capstones to create a bit more variety, so that mages are better able to customize their gameplay experience. Bottom left talent tree will focus on enhancing your frost magic, specifically with a new capstone of Ice Cold modifying your ice block, where block no longer grants immunity. Instead, it reduces the damage you take by 70%, though without impairing the mage's ability to move or deal damage. The bottom middle talents help augment your arcane arts, where the talent of Displacement will take place of Invisibility, teleporting you to the last blink location while healing you every 45 seconds. The bottom right talent set will impact your overall class utility, and will feature 2 new capstone options, where you get the choice between Mass Invisibility, which cloaks your allies in a stealthy shroud for a short moment, or protect your friends with the Arcane Barrier, sharing its benefits with 3 other allies. The spec of Arcane is getting even more tuning, which hopes to improve the AoE power, lessen the reliance on cooldowns, and create even more meaningful talent tree choices. First of all, mandatory mechanics like Clear Casting and Arcane Barrage have been made baseline to the spec of Arcane and removed from the talent tree to free up even more talent points in the process. The new talent of Concentrated Power helps bolster the clear casting value of missiles as well as Arcane Explosion, specifically in AoE content. To help improve Arcane Mage's AoE even further, the talent of Orb Barrage saw a bit of a redesign, where casting Barrage has a 10% chance per Arcane charge consumed to launch an Arcane Orb in front of you, which can lead to some powerful AoE cleave combinations. And Arcane Surge will passively provide a spell damage increase natively without having to talent into Arcane Power passive. Finally, the spec of Holy Paladin is getting a fairly massive revamp in patch 10.1.5, which is going to shift the focus of the stalwart healer in a major way. This design change can be observed in the first few Holy Talent rows, where the passive of Glimmer becomes a core part of the Paladin playstyle, where Holy Shocks leaves a glimmer on an ally, which echoes every time a Holy Shock is cast. Glimmer can either be talented to cover a large crowd, or grow more effective with smaller target counts. Holy Power spenders have a chance to trigger Glimmer healing, or protect all allies afflicted by the Glimmer passive. Glimmer can now be absorbed to actively heal your allies, while refunding a portion of the Paladin's mana. Holy Paladin's Mastery sees a bit of an improvement, where Beacon of the Lightbringer enhances your mastery, where allies standing close to your beacon target gain increased healing benefits, improving Paladin's positional capabilities. Lastly, Holy Paladin's identity is that of a holy warrior who charges into the fray and fights alongside their companions, usually facing dangers head-on as a melee healer. Patch 10.1.5 seeks to enhance this melee healing playstyle by improving on Holy's damage profile further, while enhancing their ability to heal and protect allies through common combat abilities. Greater Judgment deems the target unworthy, preventing a portion of their damage in combat. This dampening effect can then be further upgraded through the passive of Infusion of Light. Spending Holy Power causes you to gain stacks of Awakening. At 8 stacks, your next Judgment deals additional damage and activates Avenging Wrath for 8 seconds. Abilities like Hammer Wrath can now heal up to 5 nearby allies through an amplified combat healing passive. And Shield of the Righteous can deal additional damage, which provides resource-free procs of Word of Glory and Light of Dawn. Finally, we have even more rotational talent choices added into the talent tree, where Divine Favor now shares space with Hand of Divinity, which causes your next 2 Holy Lights to grow in effectiveness as well as becoming immediately usable in emergency situations. And Crusader Strike can now be further modified to either grant additional Holy Power with every use or gain an additional charge instead. And for now, that's going to be the full list of class changes that arrived recently to the patch 10.1.5 over on the PTR, with many more changes likely to be announced over the next few weeks. I want to thank all of you so much for watching this video and hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.